Socialists have always been concerned about the rights of minorities, Roma, immigrant communities. We're having a conference about this on the 11th of December. Our Vice Presidents, Jan Marinus Wiersma and Hannes Svoboda, are going to tell us about it. Jan Marinus, tell me about it.
Well, we organized this conference. It's December 2008. This was the year of the Intercultural Dialogue. There have been many debates about relations between religious communities and how to promote tolerance. Important issue, but we thought it's also very important to talk about the issue of minorities within the European Union, national minorities, but also a very specific minority like the Roma. And that's why we organized this conference. It's a part of a series of activities actually we have undertaken in both areas. Myself, I'm very much engaged in the issue of the Roma, the Gypsies. It's a very large minority in the European Union, living in very bad circumstances with special problems of education, discrimination, and I think that if you talk about dialogue and tolerance, you also have to do something visibly to promote a better life for Roma, a better understanding of their culture, also helping to create bridges between the Roma minorities and the majorities of the countries where they live. All these Roma actually are EU citizens and have of course the rights to be dealt with and treated properly, as they also have the duties to be respected citizens of the countries where they live. And this is one of the themes of this discussion we have that morning with some well-known representatives also of the Roma communities. Thank you.
And who will be speaking at the conference?
Well, we have a number of speakers, but one of them is the OSCE Commissioner for Minorities, Mr. Knut Volleberg, who is the one in the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe who is responsible for minority policy. We have also to have a somewhat more intellectual debate invited the famous Hungarian writer Georgi Konrad, who has written a lot about these issues, but also the European Minister of the Netherlands. We have Nicolai George, who is a very well-known representative of the Roma communities, also an intellectual. So it will really be a debate with people who know what they're talking about, but also intellectually challenging because we have invited this famous Hungarian writer.
Hannes?
Well, of course, it's clear for us, especially for us Social Democrats, that individual rights are in the center of our agenda. But we know that minorities need some more than the individual rights every citizen has to have. They need also collective rights for their identity, for their language, for their culture. Otherwise, they will be overtaken by the majority. We see that everywhere. We see it with the Roma community, as was just mentioned by Jan Marinus, but also, for example, with the Hungarian community in Slovakia, where we are very trying to help them, to support them, to come into dialogue also with the government, to treat them better and to give them more chances. The same, of course, is true for the Slovak minority in Hungary. So on both sides,